It's the World Figure Skating Championships this week. And as you watch this, I'm either in the air on my way to Boston or already there. So let's take a look at this event, who will be competing, and my predictions for the podium. There are a limited number of entries in each discipline, and countries are generally allowed at least one skater or team from each. Some countries will get extra spots depending on the country's ranked skaters at the previous year's Worlds, and this is by discipline. For example, the US has 3 slots for men's, women's, and ice dance, but only 2 slots for pairs. Germany, on the other hand, has 3 slots for pairs, but only 1 slot for each of the other disciplines. Here is a list of those countries with more than 1 entry. First, let's look at men's. There are 39 men scheduled to compete in the short program. Of these, the top 24 will go on to skate the free program. Ilya Malinin is the current world champion, and he's expected to do well this year. He will at least make podium, and most likely will take gold, barring catastrophe. Other skaters in the running for podium are Mikhail Shadorov from Kazakhstan and Junhwa Cha from South Korea, who took gold and silver respectively at 4 continents. Other skaters to watch out for are Adam Shohim-Fa from France, who's been a little uneven this year but is a brilliant skater. He did podium at Europeans, so I have high hopes for him. Another is Lucas Butschi from Switzerland, who won gold at Europeans and has wonderful programs. And finally is Yuma Kageyama from Japan. He's been inconsistent this year, but when he is on form, his scores come close to Malinin's. My personal favorite to watch for is Jason Brown from the US. I don't think he will podium as he doesn't do quads, but his programs are always so great to watch, and his PCS is generally through the roof. I expect he'll be a top 10 finisher at best. Now let's look at the women's discipline. There are 33 women skating in the short program. In the running for podium are Cheon Kim from South Korea, who won 4 continents, and Amber Glenn from the US, who won the Grand Prix final. Both have been really strong this season and have great programs. Also to be considered are Kaori Sakamoto from Japan, a previous World's champion. She's been a little inconsistent this year, but I wouldn't count her out. Other skaters to watch for are Wakaba Higuchi from Japan and Nina Petrokina, who was the gold medalist at Europeans this year. Mona Chibe and Brady Tennell are also strong skaters this year, and depending on how they do in the short program at Worlds, we'll see where they end up, but I would expect top 10 finishes for them. There are 36 teams in ice dance this year. The top teams to look out for are Chalk and Bates from the US, Gillis and Poirier from Canada, Fear and Gibson from the UK, and Guignard and Fabry from Italy. I think that 3 out of those 4 will make the podium, but they are really too close in program potential and performances this year for me to make a more solid prediction. If pushed, I might rank Fear and Gibson 4th, just based on past scores. But you never know what's going to happen at an event. Spoilers could come from LaJoie and Laga from Canada. I love their programs and I always root for them. 2 other strong teams are Lopereva and Brasov from France and Turkila and Versluis from Finland. Another team that I expect to make the top 10 is Olivia Smart and Tim Deek from Spain. They've been coming together really well as a team this year, and I love their free program from Dune so much. There are 23 pairs teams competing this year. Last year's champions were Deanna and Maxime from Canada, and they are back this year. They've been having a rougher year with illnesses and injuries, and I have my doubts that they can hold on to gold against the rest of the field, but I do expect them to make the podium. Other podium contenders are Haas and Verladen from Germany, who have been very strong this year. They won the Gold Prix final and European Championship, and I think they're the team to beat this year. And to round out the top three, I choose Conti and Massi from Italy. They came in second at the Grand Prix, although they struggled at Europeans and didn't make the podium. But I think that with the Olympics in Italy next year, the momentum is with them. Other teams to watch out for are Miura and Kahara from Japan, who were second at the Grand Prix final and won gold at 4 continents. They are past world champions, but this year I haven't felt that they are skating at their best. However, worlds can often bring out the best in skaters, so we'll see where they end up. Unfortunately, the U.S. is suffering as far as pair contenders go. Ellie Cam and Danny O'Shea are our top pair, but I think the best we can hope for is a top 10 finish. And that's my predictions for Worlds. Next week I won't have a long video as I'll be traveling back and forth to Boston, but I will post some shorter videos about the event and about my sightseeing in the Boston area. The following week, I'll look back at Worlds. Who made the podium, what were my highlights, and also what fun I had touring the Boston area. So subscribe so that you don't miss that. See you soon.